Israel's really seeing a multi-front war right now. So what specifically are you looking out for next?
Well, the I focus mostly on Hezbollah, and what I would look for is if the ceasefire talks don't succeed, this war of attrition is going to continue. And as we mentioned earlier, the longer such a conflict continues, the more risk every day there's going to be. You can have all the calculations that you want on either side. The more risk there's going to be of a miscalculation. We saw this in Majd al-Shams on July 27th. This goes on for another 10 months. There could be another Majd al-Shams or two. This could go on in another 2 weeks. This could happen, right? So the longer this war conflict, this war of attrition goes on, the more of a risk of a mistake there is that could lead to a broader escalation. Conversely, if a ceasefire is achieved today between Israel and Hezbollah, it'll be a momentous victory for Hezbollah from the point of view of its propaganda. You have 60 to 80,000, some estimates have even said more, Israelis that have been displaced from their homes by Hezbollah attacks. There's a security zone, a buffer zone within Israeli territory, something like 5 kilometers deep, for the first time in the country's history. And this is something that has not been, the Israelis, through force of arms, have not been able to reverse. They've not been able to get Hezbollah to back down from its commitment to supporting Gaza militarily, nor have they been able to push Hezbollah from the border. If a ceasefire is achieved under current conditions, Hezbollah can easily frame this as, well, remember in May 2000, when we pushed the Israelis out of South Lebanon, well, in 2024, we pushed them out of, quote, occupied Palestine, and they could only return to their, as Hezbollah calls them, their colonies with our permission that was only obtained through international interlocutors begging us to allow the Israelis to return. So if your objective, if what you're telling your public is that, as Hezbollah, we're promising you blood, sweat, and tears, but it's a necessary goal. Destroying Israel is necessary because Israel's very existence is a threat to your lives. But in the meantime, we're going to suffer a lot until we destroy Israel. You have to show that your methods are working. And what Hezbollah can turn to its base and say is, you suffered for the past 10 months, but look, we pushed them out of their own entity. The liberation of Palestine from the river to the sea, as Nasrallah routinely says, is that much more imminent. So just stay the course.
So to your point then, let's say there was a ceasefire reached today. Does that mean there's never going to be a wider regional war, or there's just not going to be a wider regional war yet?
There won't be a wider regional war yet. I think Hezbollah will go back to what it's been doing for the past really 24 years since the Israelis withdrew from South Lebanon, with the exception of the punctuation of the Second Lebanon War, 6, which is to continue arming, to continue improving their arsenal, to continue improving their military capabilities, to continue what they've been calling the unification of the fronts, this increasing coordination and cooperation with the other factions of the resistance axis, sharing military expertise, getting everyone on the same page, and also building up assets within Israel. This is something that we've seen not just now, but over many decades. In the Second Intifada, I forget what many percentage of attacks, according to Shin Bet, was in some way sponsored by Hezbollah, coming from the West Bank. So they were, in the wake of the May 2021 conflict between Israel and Gaza, the Israeli police noticed an uptick in weapons being shipped from Lebanon into the West Bank. Now, all of a sudden, we have all these groups, Lion's Den, these new Pidge spin-offs, the Jenin Battalion, the Nablus Battalion, the Al-Aqsa Martyrs Brigades has somehow come back. These are all organizations that in some way are part of this broader network that is led by Iran. And Hezbollah has taken point on arming these groups, on training them. When you look at what they did, a lot of what Hamas has accomplished in Gaza, their entrenchment, their military sophistication owes to Hezbollah. So continuing this process, building this ring of fire, is something that they'll continue to focus on until the day when they feel they are ready to launch this regional war against Israel. And that could be, again, 10 years, 5 years, longer.
Well, David, thank you so much for your insight, for your expertise. As the situation develops in the Middle East, I hope you come back on and break it down for us. David Daoud, thank you so much.
It'd be my pleasure to come back on. Thank you.